We have the business news with Madison Reedy, who has been very patiently sitting here in the studio taking all of that in.
Watching intently.
Yes, we're going to change tack completely and we're going to talk about the update on Fletcher and Steel and Tube. What's the latest?
So believe it or not, the drama did ensue in the business realm today, not just the political realm, and the show is officially over when it comes to the possibility of a takeover of Steel and Tube. So when we spoke about this last, Alex, we mentioned that there was market talk that it could possibly still happen. Now, to give a bit of an update as to what happened last, Fletcher Building did withdraw its $1.90 per share offer, which was actually increased by 20 cents per share to buy all of Steel and Tube, and the board said that's too low and wanted to do an independent report. So Fletcher Building didn't want to wait for that. But today we saw some disclosure statements in the shares of Steel and Tube put on the NZX on the stock market announcements. And we had a bit of a trawl through and we realised that the major shareholder, now the former major shareholder of Steel and Tube, the investment company and the KiwiSaver fund manager, Milford Asset Management, had sold its blocking stake, which was about nearly 16%. It sold it last night for about $45 million to a competitor, well, not necessarily a competitor, but another market steel supplier called New Zealand Steel. Now, that's owned by BlueScope Steel in Australia. And apparently, BlueScope Steel just called Milford last night and said, hey, would you like to sell your shares? And Milford thought, you know what, why not? We supported a takeover bid and we didn't get one. Have them.
Wow. So you're saying there won't even be a takeover bid now from Fletcher. It's all done and dusted.
Well, this is what the market's saying, and it's quite well shown in the fact that Milford is the major shareholder. Even they were so confident that there would be no other offer, no full 360 from Fletcher's to go about a different arrangement or even a higher offer or anything like that. Steel and Tube did say it was open to other offers, but we had a market analyst in the construction industry come out today and say that this basically says that the entire idea of a takeover for Steel and Tube is dead in the water.
Wow, okay. All right, from Steel and Tube to power, we're getting a new power station, it seems.
We are. It's a wind farm with 48 wind turbines in South Taranaki in a place called Waverley. And the reason it's gone ahead today is because Tilt Renewables, who creates wind farms, they're doing one across the ditch in Dundonnell in South Victoria at the moment as well. And they're about to be possibly taken over as well by two other New Zealand companies, mergers and acquisitions left, right and centre. But this wind farm, the reason it's been given the green light and that they say they will go ahead with building it since getting the resource consent in July last year is because they've cut a deal with Genesis Energy, which is the owner of the Huntly Power Station, and they have their own wind farm as well. It's one of the large power players in New Zealand, one of the biggest, and they say that we will take all of the 100 megawatt supply that your wind turbines create. So obviously when you head into these types of things, Tilt Renewables wouldn't want to build or create a wind farm without at least ensuring that someone would use the electricity and sell it on the end. So now they've got that, and they are possibly going to go ahead with construction next year. But I spoke to the Chief Financial Officer and they're still weighing up some more investment decisions, but they're really pleased. Both sides got what they liked.
Great. Big step for wind power too. And so what's happening in the markets today?
The NZX actually closed up a whopping, believe it or not, 1.2%. So we haven't seen that in a couple of weeks. That's up 108 points to 8,912 points at close tonight. Talking about Steel and Tube there, they're actually down, their share price down 2% to $1.46. And the buyer of those shares from Milford bought them at $1.75. So it slid quite a bit since then. The New Zealand dollar's buying at 65.9 US cents, 92.3 Australian, and just under 50 British pence like last night.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Madison Reedy there with the latest that's going on in the business news.